everyone. In this episode, I'm going to share with you my experience of visiting one of the world's most isolated countries, and this is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, commonly known as the North Korea. Before you plan this trip, you need to bear in mind that there are two nationalities that are not allowed to travel to DPRK, and these are South Koreans and Americans. And while Americans are legally allowed to travel to DPRK, they are not allowed by their own government. So before planning your trip as an American citizen, you can always get advice from the tour operator in case you may have any other passport that can help you to travel. Also, for anyone who has visited the DPRK, there are certain travel restrictions imposed by US on the foreign nationals that if you have visited the DPRK, you will now have to go through a different channel for applying for US visa. So it won't be online anymore and you'll have to go to the US embassy to get the visa if you intend to go to the United States after visiting DPRK. And something also to mention that you do not need to worry in case you've got any American or South Korean stamps in your passports because they won't cause you any trouble or problems while entering the DPRK. So there is no need to change your passports or any panic before the trip. Now you need to choose a reliable tour operator that can get you to the DPRK. And there are quite a few tours offered depending on a point of departure, accommodation, length of stay, and also the way of getting there. Like if you're traveling by plane or by train, the price will differ and it will range from 500 to 1,500 euros. So obviously you need to consider various options, various tours, depending on your budget. When you join one of the tour operators, they will take care of everything. You don't need to worry, everything is legal, and your tour operator will invite you for a pre-tour briefing where they will tell you what is not allowed and what is allowed and about all the laws and things that you have to follow. And like in many other countries, if you follow the rules and you're respectful of the local culture, you won't have any problems and you will fully enjoy the trip. And they will also take care of your visa, which you can do yourself, but I would highly recommend to use a tour operator who can get everything arranged for you, and you will basically be able to pick up your visa in your point of departure before the tour starts. Before leaving for my trip to DPRK, I was aware that I will be offline for a couple of days. Obviously, it doesn't mean that there is no internet access. There is, but you have to purchase a SIM card, which is quite pricey, and it is offered by KoreaLink. And from what I'm aware of, the price was around 250 euros for the SIM, and also you will have to pay for any data usage you want to have. I've decided to travel to the DPRK around the 9th of September, which is their national holiday day, and it is about the day of foundation of the Republic, which is quite a big thing in the country. And I've traveled out of Beijing, but we had a slight of delay because of the typhoon in the Korean peninsula, so we had to travel via Shenyang and then to Pyongyang, but it didn't really impact our program badly, and now you can see what I've experienced in the 4 days. Well, my two friends who are organizing the tour for me to go into North Korea, Kim and Ariel, and yeah, we're hopefully departing at 8. No, actually, no, we're going at 8. We're leaving at 10, are we?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say about the tour?
Come to DPRK.
I've just received my boarding pass to Pyongyang, you can see clearly saying Pyongyang, and obviously I've got my visa issued earlier to DPRK. Obviously I won't be able to keep it, so that will just be on the video, and I'm so excited to fly with Air Korea. I know Air Korea is probably not a 5-star airline, but I'm so excited to actually board the aircraft and fly all the way to Pyongyang. 1-hour flight. It's the most exciting flight probably in my life. So. are just now on the bus heading to our hotel in Pyongyang.
Introduce monument with like the hammer, sickle, and the paintbrush.
Can we have chicken?
Yeah, they have chicken. Not for barbecue.
Not for barbecue?
That's my first Korean, or shall I say, the meal in the north of Korea. And I'm cooking some duck
You're trying it
in a traditional way.
This is traditional Korean dish. You eat it from this? Okay. So it's not this mustard. It's not sharing, but
Something I've heard of. You can't get it anywhere else, I guess. Only in Pyongyang. I just made my first ever shopping in North Korea. You can see a lot of shopping.
So while we are visiting the inside of metro,
We're just about to enter Pyongyang Metro and ride 3 stations.
In this station, and when we go out there, we can see the Arch of Triumph.
yes.
As you can see, I'm in Paris. Actually, I'm not. I'm in Pyongyang still. And this is the Arch of Triumph, one of the major buildings in the capital of the North Korea. And I must say it's really impressive when you see it in person.
metro is 5 Korean won. So you can see the stone big tower. So that is the Chute Tower. And this one, the left one, this is the Eastern Gate. I mean Daedong Gate.
So I'm in the center of Pyongyang, and that's the place where all the military parades take place. But also that's where the old national roads start and end in North Korea. And behind me, you've got the National Library, and obviously the picture of the great leaders of the country. But that's, I would say, the heart of the city. How's your food? Good? So that's our first supper in Pyongyang, yes? What do you have anything to add about anything about the city?
Oh, it's beautiful. And it's clean like Minsk and Kruevich.
Send mail. Chances are it will be read. In South Korea, seem to get from the government.
I've just checked into the Susan Hotel. You can see we're still going for drinks with the tour guides and with other people in the group. But I'm quite happy as well about getting some rest in my suite room. Let's have a look how it looks like inside. We're just having our first night in Pyongyang. Na zdrowie? Na zdrowie. What is this beer, by the way? Oh, the labels are gone.
This is Taedonggang #1.
Oh, this one.
So, yes,
Is it the best beer in...
it's one of the best. Yeah. Tastes the best. It's the quality you can taste.
What is this?
It's a taste you can see. Soju. This is soju, so you can get this anywhere
It's a
in any
vodka.
Korea. It's a type of vodka. It's made of rice, and it's highly potent. And highly
평양 모스님의 태양도 눈물 짓곤 했습니다. 부사를 온지 이 북부 지역에 있는 고기압의 용량으로 이 소도를 마칩니다.
That's my second day in the DPRK, and I'm just about to head to DMZ, and I will finally see it on the other side, as I've been last year to Seoul, and I've seen it on the southern side. And I'm having kimchi for breakfast. Kimchi actually works all day long.
Was driving to go there. So
You have just arrived in the DMZ, and so you're not really allowed to take any photos or videos unless you ask for permission. We've got a picture of the guide, which you can see behind me. They're just walking through the DMZ. We're just outside the place where the US-Korean talks took place during the war. Korean War? It was before the Korean War.
mountain, which is of the mountain. So beside the Mommy Mountain.
We are now in one of the Kensington restaurants. We're going to try some more cuisines.
Oh yeah, I used to live in
And I don't have to challenge by eating with chopsticks. Very tasty. Okay, so how is the Korean ice cream? Does it taste
good.
Does it taste better than your back home?
It tastes like lemon. Yeah, lemon or something. Yeah, green. I don't know. That's good.
I'm just in the front of the Unification Monument, signifying South and the North of Korea, unifying together. And hopefully the monument symbolizes something that will happen eventually in the future. Both Koreas will unite together.
Yeah, we're at the Fountain Park near Monsignor Grand Monuments, and it's National Day.
I'm just in the front of the monument of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. You can see in the background, and people now behind me are just paying tribute.
Mixed with the egg and some vegetables. It's kind of a pizza.
So I'm just trying first Korean pizza.
For an interview. That's not even for the
It kind of reminds me of a crossing between pizza and like a tortilla. A tortilla.
I think you can
Not
have it
pizza.
for either
The 1.5 hours to see the whole performance.
We are outside the Stadium Stadium, which is famous for its Mass Games, which we're going to see. But what is special about today is the National Day of Korea, and I'm hoping that the great leader will be in there today, maybe. But it is the largest stadium from what I've been told, so let's see how it actually looks like. I'm very excited. As you can see, Pyongyang is having a great time today, and you can hear quite cool music in the background, so we're just about to watch the performances and everything. I kind of thought the stadium would be much busier because you've got still a lot of empty rows, as you can see.
The atmosphere on the Mass Games is amazing, and I haven't seen a better show than this. It's really fascinating to see. The performers are so gifted, and I think they've been learning this all life to do it and perform in front of us. That's our day 3 in Pyongyang, and today we start our tour with visiting the War Museum. You can see behind me. I don't think we can take pictures or videos inside, so I'm afraid I won't be able to show you what's inside.
Welcome to the report.
No one's waving back to me.
And this is the one of the building like the where officials used to stay.
I've just realized that our tickets are not booked yet, and our tour guide is booking our flights to Beijing tomorrow, and we're flying there China in the time. We are now outside the children's center, where children can do additional activities outside school and learn extra skills, that's what we've been told. So let's see how it looks inside.
룰들이 익숙합니다.
I've just seen the children's performance, which lasted for 40 minutes, and I must say it's very spectacular. We are just at the catfish factory where they breed and produce. We are now just outside the Juche Tower, which is the local ideology. You can see the tower. I'm just going to go and check it inside, how it looks like upstairs.
We are at the top of the bottom of the tower, which is 150 meters, and you see the torch on the top is 20 meters high. So whole tower makes 170 meters high. Yeah. So this is the tallest stone tower in the world. So you see the building that was built in 1982, location of the 70th birthday of the president. So Juche has been created by the President Kim Il-sung. So it has the main essence that the man is the master of everything and decides everything, which means the man's position and role in the world. The man is the master of everything means he is the master of the world and he is the master of his destiny. And he decides everything means he plays decisive role in harnessing the nature and transforming the society and even carving out his own destiny. So for the first time of its philosophical work, Juche idea clarified man's position and role in this world.
I'm just getting a haircut in Pyongyang, which is quite unusual. And yeah, I wonder how it will look like once it's finished. I've just had my haircut at the hairdresser in Pyongyang, and I must say it's probably one of the nicest experiences I've had because I had the chance to interact with people and I just felt so happy because they were so curious of where I come from, who I am, and what am I doing here and stuff without really speaking English, with just single words and mimics. I didn't realize you can actually send a postcard to different countries from this place. So you can see.
I'm skeptical. I'd be very surprised if I ever see this again, but let's see.
I think it will. I think it will. You'll be surprised. You'll arrive, I think. Hello.
Your daughter.
We are now at Pyongyang airport and that's us leaving back to Beijing. I'm quite sad, but also excited again to be back on social media and on the internet so I can talk to my family and everyone because I've been quite worried for being offline for so long. But the guys were lovely and the entire trip just worked out so well. So now we'll be probably back in the future, hopefully when the things slightly change here. So I was leaving North Korea, Peru, yeah? Oh no, DPRK, that's the better way of saying it. And I had the best tour guides possible, who keeps money all the time, so thank you very much. I know it's just for the video purpose, but I mean it as well.
Okay, take care.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being so nice. And it's a shame that you only joined us halfway through. Come. Oh, thank you so much. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. And I definitely see you again. So watch out for me. Yes. In case I run around somewhere. Thank you so much. There is actually quite a good duty-free at Pyongyang airport, as you can see. You can buy some traditional clothing here. There's even TV shop. You can actually buy films, music from Korea, so you can take it home. And some more souvenir shops. I'm actually quite curious if there is a business lounge, because they saw my Star Alliance card and said, oh, VIP card. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe they can give me something.
보도를 마칩니다.